On the phone today, a gentleman who's been around Christian music and secular music for years, both behind the scenes as a producer and also in front of the microphone as the lead singer for groups like Kansas. And he was in a group called Mastodon and on his own as well through the years. John Elefante. Hi, John.
How you doing? Nice to be here.
Hey, good to have you on the radio today. You're calling us in Nashville. You're going to be here in our area for a benefit event for Rock the Church and also doing some training, I guess, for people who want to be better singers and work in Christian music. Tell us a little bit about your background. I mentioned Kansas there and producing. What might people recognize as some of the work you've done?
Well, as you know, we produced probably over 10 Petra records. As a solo artist, I've done, I believe this is my 5th solo record, maybe 7th, including the Mastodon records. Mm-hmm. We co-produced the soundtrack to the movie St. Elmo's Fire. I don't know if you remember that. Mm-hmm. I've just always been doing this. I mean, I started at a very young age, and I played at Disneyland when I was 13 years old. So, I was one of them. One of those guys that had a stage mom that would get us gigs,
Yeah, you're saying us, so you have a brother that you work with too a lot. Dino?
Yeah, my brother Dino.
Dino Elefante. And I think that's cool. You guys had a record company called Pachyderm for a while, and we're really...
We had a good time with that last name of ours.
Well, how did you get involved with Kansas? Like, when were the years that you were with Kansas?
Like the end of 80 through about 1985. Mm-hmm. Steve Walsh, the original singer, had left the band, and they did this nationwide talent search, as I hear. And they'd interview guys like Sammy Hagar and Doug Pinnick from I forget the band he was with. But anyway, I don't know how I got it. I sent in a tape. I had an attorney friend that was in his very office was the attorney for the band Kansas, and he listened to the tape. Next thing I know, a week later, I'm getting a call from Kansas's manager wanting to meet me, and the guys in the band started calling me, and he said, "Let's fly out to Atlanta and let's check you out." Next thing I knew, I'm calling my folks and say, send my clothes. I'm moving to Atlanta. And they said, "I guess that means you got the gig." And I said, "Yep."
All right. Well, and that was a transitional time for Kansas too, because one of the lead songwriters for the group, Kerry Livgren, had become a Christian. And
yes, and the bass player Dave Hope as well.
Mm-hmm. And you were a Christian, and so I guess you kind of really had a real influence on Kansas's music. Always seemed to have kind of a spiritual yearning in it.
Yes, exactly. It was fairly seamless in that respect. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting, Mark, is even though that the lyrics of Kansas had always had like a spiritual slant, when Christ enters the picture, it's a whole new ball game. It's okay to be religious, quote unquote, but when Christ enters the picture, it seems like the bullet is put in the gun.
Mm-hmm. That's a good analogy. Well, you got to be a person who sang songs like "Dust in the Wind." I trying to figure out what song is that one that you enjoyed singing, or was there a particular song of Kansas that you really did enjoy singing?
I hated singing "Dust in the Wind."
Okay, well, we won't play that one then.
No. It's I did back then. I love singing it now.
Okay.
I love I did my own version of the song.
Okay.
Because I wanted a more upbeat version to play live. Because although it's a great radio song, when you play it live, it's a little sleepy.
Kind of a downer.
And so I did this more rock version, kind of upbeat Genesis Journey style-esque version of "Dust in the Wind."
Well,
which I'm going to be performing July 6th at the concert.
Yeah, and you'll be doing "Carry On, Wayward Son," I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one that people really recognize. That's probably still my favorite Kansas song, "Carry On, Wayward Son."
It's a great song.
That's probably a lot of fun to sing and play, I would think, too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it is. Except for if you're just on stage singing, there's so many musical parts that you find yourself like on stage going, "Okay, we got a 2-minute guitar solo here. What do I do during this 2 minutes? Let me try some dance steps or something." No, but it's. I think when the song came out on, what was that game, Rock Band, or gosh, I should know. My sons have it.
Guitar Hero, yeah.
Guitar Hero, thank you. when it was reintroduced on Guitar Hero, it gave the song all, totally new legs.
Okay. Well, this is going to be an interesting event where you're going to actually also show people how to sing rock style. Is there a lot of secrets to being able to be a good rock singer?
Well, I think inherently you have to be born with some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I took about 3.5 years of training. When you can increase the range, the notes on your range, it gives you a lot more ability to do more with your instrument. And there are, I wouldn't say tricks, but there are methods that are used where you can sing and get more notes on your range without killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn to do that. When we're out doing 6 nights a week on the road, if you don't watch your technique, you're hamburger at the end of two or three shows.
Yeah, I don't know how people keep their voices after some of the notes I hear. So there's
all the Kansas stuff is voiced very, very high.
Yeah. Well, let's tell us about where you're at now with your latest release. What's it called?
I just released a record May 7th called "On My Way to the Sun."
Mm-hmm.
That has been it was a result of a Kickstarter campaign I did. I know that's becoming very popular, but
now explain, what is Kickstarter? I think I've heard a
little bit
about
it. It's a fan based method where they I guess donate money, and in return they get rewards like autographed CDs, phone calls, private dinners, everything from me producing a few songs for you, and just all these really cool rewards. And fans don't give reluctantly; they give very, very, very graciously. And I don't think I would have been able to make this record without. Well, I definitely wouldn't have been able to make this record without the Kickstarter campaign. And we raised close to $60,000. And as a result, I think I made what was a very, very, I don't want to say good record. It sounds like I'm tooting my horn, but I'm pleased with the result.
Well, one of the songs that's featured on here is one called "This Time." Tell us about this song.
This Time is a song based on on how my daughter came into this world. She's now 19 years old. She was literally moments, seconds from being aborted, and her birth mother decided to call her mom and tell her she was pregnant. And I didn't set out to write a politically charged pro-life song, even though I am pro-life. That wasn't the origin of the song. The origin of the song is I simply wanted to tell the story of how a young 13-year-old birth mother decided to not give up her child. Decided to not abort her child, and decided to put her child up for adoption. And that child that she decided to put up for adoption is now in the other room.
Wow.
19 years later, and it was a very emotional. It's a very emotional song. I probably get more emails about that one song on the new record than anything else.
Let's hear a little bit of "This Time" from John Elefante on KCIS.
She sat cold in a waiting room, frightened and all alone. Watched the clock tick down, knowing that her baby would soon be gone. Her head slung low, so embarrassed. She was 13 years old. She felt a kick inside as a reminder of a life she couldn't show. Then she heard a voice inside saying, "Run away. It was a mistake, but don't throw your child away." Then she fell into a light sleep, had a dream about a little girl. There was a birthday cake and 3 candles. She was living in another world. She saw the little girl become a woman, living in a happy home. Then she was suddenly awakened by a voice that called her name. They said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. You're still young, we see this all the time." Right then the Lord began to speak. "You're not taking this one, she's mine. She'll grow up and see my name. You're not taking her, she's mine. And you're not this time. No, you're not taking her this time. She laid flat on the table. She asked, please, can I talk to someone? But a headstrong woman with a blank stare said, we've got to get this done. Then she cried out loud, please help me. I've got to get to a phone. I need to call my mama to help me find my baby a home. They said, don't worry, you'll be fine. You're still young, we see this all the time. Right then the Lord began to speak. You're not taking this one, she's mine. She'll grow up to sing my name. You're not taking her this time. I decided before time began. Her name is written in the book. They didn't have the power to take her life. They're not taking her, she's mine. You're not taking her this time. No, you're not taking her this time.
Powerful voice of John Elefante and some of his own experience with his daughter coming through, almost not coming into this world, and the song This Time from his new release, On My Way to the Sun. John Elefante still on the phone. How do people get this album, John?
It's on iTunes. It's in, I don't know if you have Lifeway stores up there.
We
I
do?
think they might just be.
Yeah.
Do you have Lifeway? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's in Lifeway. It's on all the .coms, Best Buy, Amazon, Target. Anywhere you can do downloads. I mean, it's there.
Okay. Well,
Not too hard to find. It's on my website, johnelefante.com as well.
Of course, you can get it there. John, you're going to be in our area for an event July 6th. Tell us a little bit about what's happening at this.
It's going to be fun. It's kind of an all day thing. There's a VIP dinner where you get to have dinner with yours truly, which could be fun or not be fun. Hopefully, it will be fun. I'm doing a workshop, demonstrating technique and studio etiquette and things like that. And there'll be a lot of amazing musicians there, studio guys that know their way around the studio very well. And then, of course, we'll be doing a concert at about I'm not sure what time the concert is.
7 o'clock. It says here.
7 o'clock. Thank you. But it's I'm pretty much going to be hanging around the whole day, and I just hope folks come out when I get a chance to meet them and get up close and personal. I think that's sort of the theme of this is to be up close and personal and not just be this distant concert where you're sitting 40 rows back.
So you'll be singing some of your own music and some Kansas music too at this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, looking forward to this. Get some personal insights into the music business from John Elefante, and also hear some of his wonderful music, Grammy-winning artist and former lead singer of Kansas, and on his own right. Are you going to sing anything from Mastodon?
No, not that night.
Okay. Well,
next time I come back to the Seattle area.
Okay.
Though, for sure.
John Elefante, and more details about his music at johnelefante.com, and also the local connection is rockthechurch.me. You can find out more details about this event with John Elefante, July 6th. Thanks for talking with us today, John.
Hey, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.